What was the weirdest thing you ever saw? My brother found a flash drive in the woods. I think we opened it and found just super weird videos on it. Couldn't tell if it was an abstract film project or just a weird cult or something. I'm gonna ask him about it. Definitely a platypus. Don't get me wrong, I get it, they're real. But I also totally get why 19th century European scientists thought it was a creative taxidermy hoax. A male prostitute turning a trick in my bushes. They claimed to be fighting. The one with the dick in the other's ass seemed to be winning. I just went inside. They seemed harmless and I never saw them again. I am sure there were weirder things, but once I saw a man lick a credit card and put it back in his pocket. I used to live in an area with a lot of land and I saw a raccoon fighting a beaver. The raccoon won and started to eat the beaver. It was pretty creepy, to be honest. Probably rabies. A naked woman with dwarfism painted blue running down the street. When I was 8, my granddad died. Soon after, before he was cremated, I was visiting my gran and I saw him walk into their bedroom wearing a nightgown. I ran to my mother and told her, and she said she could smell his cologne in the hall where I had just seen him. I'm not a religious person and I don't even trust that it wasn't grief mixed with imagination, but it felt very real. I went to a place that is famous for its medieval history and it has a huge fair every year where people dress up in medieval costumes. Walking home late one night I saw something move in the corner of my eye. I stopped to look and it was a monk vigorously pounding a nun. It took my drunken self a while to realize what I was witnessing and that they were both in costume. Or so I hope. Sandra Bernhard. I was home alone, and the whole mobile coat rack just fell over in my little sister's room. The wheels were fine, weight was distributed evenly. As soon as I walked in my sister's room, it just fell over. I thought someone broke in and ran out the house. Went back to set it up. That thing shouldn't have toppled over. It happened to my mom. She said she walked in there. Asterisk bam asterisk. She slept over by her mom's house that night because me and my sis were there already. I just asked her and she said there was no logical reason for that thing to have fell over. That house was weird. This is a tough call. I've seen some strange things. I'm gonna have to go WA classic. The time I was downtown on a hot day and saw a man eating what looked to be the remains of a hot meatball sub out of a full trash can unabashedly. That's not the weird part. I had some food in my car which was only a block away, so I said, "Hi there, would you like some sodas and bagels cream cheese? I've got some that I'd be happy to share with you." The man looked up at me disgusted before angrily saying, "I don't put that trash in my body." I had to walk away. I didn't even know what to say or if I would laugh. I was just like, "Okay, have a nice day." You Mountain Dorian 4927. Back when I was in college and had a roommate, we had these two girls in their own room who never came out. One day they opened the door to talk to us and their room had food, clothes on the floor. They were actually eating like hamburgers as they did their makeup. I once saw a guy on the subway who was kissing the pole you hang onto. Like fully making out. It was disgusting. When my brother showed me how he can twist his thumb and touch it to his hand. Ugh, my dad going down on my mom when I was 10. I was driving with my friends at night when we came to a roundabout with about 15 people holding hands in a circle, all dressed in white gowns. I slowed at first to see what on earth was going on, but as my headlights hit them they all turned to look at us in unison. When I tell you I have never floored it like I did at that moment, the white hot panic flushed through all of us. For context, I live in the northwest of England in a very quiet normal area. It freaked me TF out. There's very little religion here like there is in the US, but it really gave me evangelical cult vibes. the Crispy Family Carnival used to open for local punk bands. Crispy himself was a jovial fellow with a big mustache whose part in the act involved sore swallowing and lifting a car battery off the stage with chains attached to his nipple rings. When their set was over and preparations for the bands were starting, he'd casually wander around the pit with a stapler so the punks could staple their tips right onto his chest and belly. If you tipped larger bills, he'd let you staple them onto his head instead.